It was a gray afternoon, the kind where clouds pressed low against the rooftops and the air carried a chill that whispered of loneliness. On the far edge of a quiet town stood an old orphanage, its paint faded, its swings rusted, its windows streaked with dust. Inside that orphanage lived a boy named Ethan. He was 12 years old, small for his age, with hair the color of chestnuts and eyes that never saw the light of day. Ethan was blind since birth, his world painted not in colors but in sounds, textures, and the warmth or coldness of the people around him. He had never seen a sunset, never watched the faces of those he spoke to, never caught the glow of a candle or the sparkle of stars. Yet he had something stronger than sight, he had courage. Every morning, he gripped his old, chipped cane and stepped outside the orphanage to explore the sidewalks. That cane was more than wood, it was his independence, his lifeline, his way of saying, "I belong in this world too." But the world can be cruel, especially to those who are different. That day, as Ethan carefully tapped his way past the orphanage gates, 3 neighborhood boys were waiting. They weren't just older, they were bigger, louder, and full of the kind of arrogance that feeds off another's weakness. Marcus, the tallest of them, spotted Ethan and smirked. "Look who's out again," he sneered. "The blind bat." His friends laughed. Ethan's hands tightened around his cane. He tried to step away, but one of the bullies shoved him lightly, circling him like a predator playing with prey. "Where you going, huh?" another taunted. "You can't even see us. What's the point of walking around like you're normal?" Ethan swallowed hard. "Please, just let me go." His voice trembled, but he held his head high, refusing to beg. He had learned long ago that tears only made the bullies laugh harder. But Marcus wasn't satisfied. With one quick snatch, he grabbed Ethan's cane. The boy gasped, reaching forward with empty hands. "No. Please, give it back." Ethan's voice cracked with desperation. But Marcus only grinned, holding the cane above his head like a trophy. "This old stick. This is your life, right? Let's see how you do without it." Then, in one cruel motion, Marcus slammed the cane against the pavement. Once. Twice. Until it cracked, then splintered, then broke completely in two. The sound of shattering wood echoed louder than any thunder to Ethan's ears. The bullies tossed the pieces aside. "Good luck now, blind boy," Marcus jeered. The boys' laughter trailed off as they walked away, leaving Ethan frozen, trembling, his world collapsing in silence. Slowly, he sank to his knees, his hands fumbling across the rough pavement, searching desperately for the broken pieces. His fingers brushed splinters, but all he felt was the sharp sting of helplessness. That cane was more than wood, it was freedom. Without it, every step became a cliff edge. Without it, he was trapped. And so, for the first time in years, Ethan lowered his head and let his tears fall where no one could see. 20 long minutes crawled by. Cars passed. Footsteps echoed. People looked, but no one stopped. The world kept moving, indifferent to one small boy lost in the shadows of cruelty. And then, at last, a voice cut through the silence. "Hey, are you okay?" The words were soft, but strong enough to make Ethan lift his head. He couldn't see, but he could sense the presence, someone kneeling beside him, close, not mocking but concerned. "My name's Daniel," the stranger said gently. "What's yours?" Ethan hesitated, then whispered, "Ethan." His throat was tight from crying. Daniel picked up the broken cane lying nearby. He stared at the shattered wood, then at the trembling boy. His chest ached. "Did someone do this to you?" Ethan didn't answer, but his silence was enough. Daniel placed a steady hand on the boy's shoulder. "I'm so sorry this happened. You don't deserve this." Ethan tried to shrink away, embarrassed, ashamed of his weakness. But Daniel's tone was different from anything he had heard. It wasn't pity. It was care. It was respect. "Wait here," Daniel said firmly. "Don't move. I'll be right back." Ethan panicked. "Please don't leave me," he whispered. Daniel squeezed his shoulder. "I promise, I won't be gone long." Minutes later, Daniel returned. But this time, he carried something new. He gently pressed it into Ethan's hands. "Here. This is for you." Ethan's fingers trembled as they traced the object. Smooth grip. Solid weight. A sturdy, sleek, white mobility cane. It wasn't old or broken, it was strong, modern, built for someone who deserved to stand tall. Ethan tapped it against the ground. The sound rang clear and sharp, a rhythm of hope echoing into his dark world. His breath caught. Is this really mine?" Daniel smiled softly. "Yes. Everyone deserves a way forward." Ethan's lip quivered. No one had ever given him something so meaningful. Not the orphanage caretakers, not the strangers who passed by daily, not even the children who lived beside him. But Daniel, a man he had just met, had given him back his freedom. Ethan clutched the cane against his chest, and before he could speak, Daniel placed his hand over the boy's and whispered 3 simple words, "You are seen." 3 words. That was all. But to Ethan, they were a key unlocking every locked door in his heart. He was blind, yes. An orphan, yes. But for the first time, he wasn't invisible. He wasn't forgotten. He wasn't just another boy in the shadows. He was seen. He mattered. Tears poured freely now, but not from shame, from relief. From gratitude. From the warmth of being recognized. Ethan sobbed into Daniel's chest, and the men simply held him, letting him cry until his pain melted into quiet. The next day, Ethan walked out of the orphanage again, his new cane tapping proudly against the ground. The bullies watched from a distance, sneering, but something was different. Ethan didn't shrink this time. He walked tall, his head high, every tap of his cane a declaration, "You didn't break me. I am stronger than your cruelty." And deep down, he knew he wasn't alone anymore. Because somewhere in the world, someone had seen him. Someone had cared. That moment became the start of Ethan's new life. He began practicing with his new cane, exploring further than he ever dared before. He discovered the library, where he found audiobooks that let him escape into worlds of adventure. He found a small park where the sound of fountains became his favorite symphony. And he found courage, not because he could suddenly see, but because he knew he was worth seeing. Daniel visited often, becoming not just a stranger, but a mentor, a friend, even a father figure Ethan had never known. Years later, Ethan would stand before a crowd at a charity event, taller now, older, with the same cane in hand. His voice would echo across the hall as he told his story. He would speak of pain, of cruelty, of the day bullies tried to steal his freedom. But he would also speak of kindness, of a stranger who refused to walk past, who chose to give instead of ignore. And then Ethan would repeat those 3 words, passing them on like a flame to everyone listening, "You are seen." For in those words lies a truth the world forgets too easily, that the smallest kindness, the gentlest gift, can change a life forever. That no one, no matter how small, no matter how broken, deserves to feel invisible. And that sometimes it takes only a stranger's gift and 3 words to change all.